Yanni or myself for more information as well too. Now we are so excited to meet our first panelist, Daniel. So let me give some information about Daniel. Daniel is the fourth generation of Koon Chun Sauce Factory. Before that, let's watch a short video about Koon Chun that we prepare. So it will be around 2 to 3 minutes, and it will be in Cantonese. But just in case if you have any question or you don't understand, you can always using our chat room to ask any question. You can start now, Yanni.
認真醬園嘅靈魂啦應該就喺個人嗰度，大家互相尊重、互相了解，冇咗任何一 part 都會唔同。我係冠真嘅第4代，長哥係負責喺生產區睇管住嗰班員工嘅。
我喺冠真今年就41年，有種好深嘅感受。當時嚟到冠真醬園啦，佢前邊咧就有一個好大嘅花園㗎。亦都冇呢個3號幹線嘅，當時有一個大花園。嚟到時候咧，我就係打雜嘅，因為嗰時冇乜機械性，咁啊2個人咧就抬一大桶嘅豆渣，約莫係200-300斤㗎啦。
呢一代都會好尊重佢哋嘅，因為佢哋真係除咗識睇自己豉油，仲識睇埋天氣啦，預測呢個風會唔會打到埋嚟。
喺度做咗幾人最深刻嘅一樣嘢啦，水浸啦，我哋原本一個好大嘅曬床㗎，幾個鐘頭咧就變咗一個好大嘅魚塘。啲魚都走埋入嚟。
頭先落雨，佢見呢個人應該唔會落嚟呢度，真係喎！我都未出世，佢已經喺度做咯。咁你冇可能唔信佢啦嘛，係咪先？中學啊、大學啊都喺美國讀嘅，人類學同埋歷史嘅，喺哈佛嗰度。我爸爸主要就唔喺香港嘅，其實最想我翻嚟醬園嗰度咧係我爺爺零開始嘅，將冠真啲歷史咧就抄翻晒出嚟。佢哋之前咧都冇乜人理嘅。咁但係我覺得係有個故事喺後邊咧，俾到人哋一個親切啲嘅感覺咯。第一代係我太爺啦，第一次世界大戰之後啦，附近啲親戚啊、朋友啊或者係鄰居啊咁嘅夾份就開間醬園。嗰陣時地點就唔係喺元朗嘅，嗰陣時地點就係喺九龍城寨附近，幾廿個真字輩嘅醬園。到今時今日主要有5珍啦，就有我哋冠真啦。品真啦、銅真啦、八真啦，同埋九龍醬園叫美真嘅。係當其時全部都係以出口為主，因為香港根本都食唔晒咁多豉油啊，係咪先？呢個美洲啦、澳洲啦，同埋歐洲為主。日本、韓國有佢自己嘅醬油噶嘛，因為我哋香港用一個比較傳統嘅製作豉油嘅方法。咁到咗今時今日就主要有2家人去 run 成個醬園嘅。
做豉油嗰個過程大致上都係唔係大分別，主要就做醬同豉油啊嘛，都係由黃豆開始啦。一開工咧就喺黃豆倉度篩緊啲黃豆，又揾車咧運上去3隻大鑊嗰度煮，煮嗰度咧就我哋叫撈網區，3隻大鑊落滿佢咁啊3大鑊去煮，咁啊啲豆要煮熟嘅，降咗溫。
I hope yeah, we're going to start from here now. So if you want to know the link, let us know. We can send the link to you so then you can know Koon Chun more. So I hope you know Koon Chun history more by now. And I wonder how many audience have the Koon Chun's famous hoisin sauce at home. For me, I'm a super fan of Koon Chun. And so, hi, Daniel. How are you?
Hi, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are. So thank you for inviting me to the panel.
Yeah, great. So Daniel, so let me talk about your background. Because in the video, it's mentioned that you was actually moved to US with your parents in late 1990s, and you actually from Bay Area. You attend UC Berkeley here, and after that you study in Harvard University in the East Coast. In late 2016, you decide to assist your grandfather and his family soy sauce business. So thank you so much for joining us today. So how is the weather in Hong Kong?
It's morning today, and it's a little bit cloudy today, but we're doing okay here. Right outside is Yuen Long. I live in Yuen Long. My factory is also now in Yuen Long, and so the commute time is short. Yeah, so
Great. Yeah, actually, I was from Yunnan as well too, just FYI. So yeah. Okay. So, let's go to our topic. We know that for the global pandemic has caused a huge impact on different business. So how does this affect Kunjan and how do you guys manage it? And how does, I know that in this couple year, you kind of reform your brand identity. Can you share us with us more?
okay. So what happens is I didn't really reform it. It's we've been doing export business since the 1930s, and probably when we get to the U.S. it's around the 30s or the 40s, or at least as documents showed, it's right after the war we've been shipping to the U.S. already. So we've been long trading business with the U.S. for a very, very long time, probably older than anyone in this in this webinar. And what happens in the past is that we use exporters and importers. Like there are exporters located in Hong Kong around the Shenzhen area. And then there are importers in the US in different cities, in Atlanta, in San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York. And what we do is we produce our sources, and then we will let them do the logistics. So that's what's happening throughout the 20th century. And in the 21st century, in the past 10 years, what we've been receiving more and more is that people like to do a more direct business. So what happens is that restaurants or even like supermarkets, they would like to, because cutting costs of the logistics, so they would like to, purchase directly from us instead of going through two importers or even like multi-layers of the distributors. So what happens is we receive more and more of these customers, and we have a more direct link. And some of the more chain restaurants in the U.S. They work with one or two distributors and then contact us directly. And because of the food safety issues, since the early 90s, we've been, updating our brand identity through food safety in the past 20 years. So what happens is that nowadays you have a lot of, food safety issues, and then also a lot of food regulation, regulations from the government. So what happens is even the FDA in the States, they will come to our sauce factories and do audit for 1 week. And then they'll come here around like every 3 to 4 years. And what happens is that they will evaluate everything from our raw materials all the way to our end products to see if it meets the safety regulations of the United States. And then after we are certified, then we can keep doing the businesses. And that's how things goes in the past 20, 30 years. What happens in this year is very different and very sudden is the pandemic. So at the beginning, we weren't really affected. I'm talking about this year around January, February, and March, because usually our products didn't get to the States. There's a logistics delay. What happens is that the shipments, they go into the cargo container, the shipping goes to LA or New York. It takes like 20 to 30 days for them to get to New York, the ports in New York. So what happens is in the beginning, in February and March, we were quite worried that like our customers in the States might because back then around February things weren't that bad. So our things are still going to the States, and we have around 50% of our products going to the States. So it's a huge market for us. The rest, included Africa, Europe, Middle East, New Zealand, South Korea, and then also in the Southeast Asia, some of the countries. So 50% of the business going to the States is a huge market. And we were really affected when the States started to do the lockdown around April and May. And that's when we received literally like zero, no order at all around that time for about 2 months. And then because cities start to, like people, like at the around summertime, people start going out again, and then we received some of the orders, and things weren't getting back to what in 2019, 2018, but we are getting there. And I guess it's fortunate that we are a food factory, and like at the end of the day, everyone needs to have food. You cannot just survive with water and bread every single day. So for us, it's a little bit fortunate because we are not a luxury brand, or like not we are essential. We are food. So people needs to dine either at home or even in a restaurant setting. But we can predict in the future, at least for 2021 or even at the beginning of 2022, things will have a new normal, as everyone said. So how people are going to dine out will really depending on how the pandemic goes in the future months. So that's how we are, navigating through the pandemic. And locally in Hong Kong, because of a lot of people were afraid to go out in the very beginning around February and March, we decided to launch our online market. So we entered Hong Kong TV Mall, as Mr. Chow mentioned earlier. We get into the Hong Kong TV Mall market around April and May this year, and things are pretty good in the beginning, but it's slowed down these days because the past month, because people start going out again in Hong Kong. People are fed up already locking down at home, and like they want to go out and have a more like dining experience. And because the apartments in Hong Kong is very small and people don't really cook, so that's a locational difference if it's compared to the U.S.
Okay, great. And when I look at the screen right now, and I see that you have the showroom to showcase the history of Koon Chun and also the sauce making process in Shanghai. Can you share with us the concept and the idea behind it?
Okay, so what you've seen in the upper left-hand corner, the second picture, it's our new showroom. It used to be an office, but we created this last year, and it's more like a showroom where people can go in and look at our products and purchase our products. And we are thinking, besides our products, we will also feature other made in Hong Kong products in this showroom in the near future. Probably in next year or the next few months, we'll put in more local brands, food products inside. Also, we're thinking about getting a small freezer so people can get a locally made fish balls or like meatballs, these kind of things.
Great.
And it's more like like to tell people that we have been in Hong Kong for over 90 years, and yeah, so that's our plan of doing these kind of things locally. In the US, it's quite different because we are located in Hong Kong. It's very hard to control what's happening in different cities, like let alone just the West Coast or the East Coast. So we'll still keep the supermarkets and the restaurants, for them to do our their own marketing work for our brand.
Okay, great. Thank you, Daniel. So you make me want to have some Hong Kong food now. So, but it's too bad that I couldn't go back to Hong Kong. But thank you so much, Daniel. You let us to know more about Koon Chun. Okay, now we're going to meet our second panelist, Korean Lai. Let's watch the video and we will know more about his company, Ionic.